This question belongs to programming subject and was asked in GATE CSE 1992. So the question states, what type of parameter passing mechanism, call by value, call by reference, call by name or call by value result, it is call by value result, is the following sequence of actions trying to implement for a procedure called PI, where P is a procedure, I is an integer and A is an integer array. So we have a procedure P which takes parameters a of I, where this a is an array, I is an integer. So this procedure has the following contents. Create a new local variable z, so it creates a variable z, assigns the value z to a of I, okay, so it does like this, execute the body of p using z, then it uses z in the entire function and then set a of I to z. So see carefully, what is it doing? It is creating a new variable and making changes in the new variable and then updating the original variable. So it is equal to call by value result. So what call by value result does? Call by value result creates a variable, updates the variable, and then at the end it just copies the value to our initial variable. So it is a call by value result. The implementation is correct. Now let us see part B. So part B states, show the activation records and the display structure just after procedures called at the lines marked X and Y. So here we have line Y and line X. We need to tell what are the various activation records at these points have started their execution. Be sure to indicate which of the two procedures named A you are referring to. So we have to tell which of the procedures of A we are referring to. So for this, assume we have A1 and A2 and we have B1 and B2 be the different instances of A and B. So let us iterate each of them one by one. So how it happens? Here, first of all, we will come to this test part. So here, activation record will just have test because test started. Okay. Now, when this, we will come to this scope of A started. So now activation record will have test followed by A. Okay, now the scope of B started. Scope of B is from here till here. Scope of A is from here till here. And test is from here till here. Okay, now let us see. Now inside B again A started. So first let us write it for B started. Test, then A started. Then B, let us assume a new instance B1 started. Now what happens? Now this A started. So the instance that started is A1. Test A, B1, then A1 started. Okay. So A1 does its computation, then A ends. So when A ends, this A1 gets pops out. So here we have just test A and B1. Now what happens? Now again Y calls A. So what happens? We create a new instance A2. So we have test A, B1, A2. So A2 is created. Now A2 does its work and then it pops out of the stack. So A2 is then removed from the stack. So we just have test A and B1. Now what happens here? B also ends. So when B ends, then this B gets removed from the stack. Activation record stack. Okay. Now what happens? Then this A begins. Okay. So what we have done? Here see. After this, B starts and ends. Okay. Then after this ends, A also ends. So A gets ended. So we just have test over here. So test is just over here. Now what happens? Then it calls A. So an instance is created which is for A. So we just have test and A. So this was the activation record through the entire procedure calls.